What is going on, guys? I am Johnny on the track. This is best bets and drivers to watch for the regular season finale in Daytona for the Coke Zero Sugar 400. I apologize for this awful lighting. It seems like every time I do a video, the lighting is terrible. I cannot find good lighting in my house, but I will not apologize for the five win streak we are on in terms of betting. We have correctly predicted the winner 5 times in a row. We've also hit some top 10, some top 5 sprinkled in there. We've hit the 100 unit mark. I think we're at plus 104 units this season, which is amazing. I don't see anybody else on a 5-win streak. So we could call that a 5-dough streak, I guess. We just keep raking in the dough. So I haven't seen that. I maybe there are some other people, but I'm so happy with the community we've built with these best bets and drivers to watch for videos. And hey, I'm going to keep it up. I will say, going into this race, the tip with Daytona and really super speedways in general, you want to bet small to win big. That is the goal. Bet small, win big. The favorite comes in at plus 1,000. For reference, last week, I think Chase Elliott opened with like plus 500 odds. So you're already double. Chase Elliott will be the favorite this week at plus 1,000. So even for a top 5, he's plus 140. So everybody top 5 are plus odds, top 10s. Most people are right around even, which is really surprising. Chase Elliott leads at minus 200. And honestly, there's still value for like a bet like that. So the odds here are really always great. And it's fun to bet on these things because, again, you bet small, you win big. So let's see what we can do this weekend. This is obviously going to be the toughest one to bet on because there is so much hype around this race. We have 15 different winners. The guy who I think is either second or maybe even third now in points, I think he's still second, Ryan Blaney. He is on the brink of elimination. He needs no new winners, and he needs a 25 point cushion to stay on Martin Truex Jr. So to me, Ryan Blaney is a guy you absolutely want to fade because if you're Truex, you pretty much know what you have to do this race. You got to run up front from start to finish, right? But if you're Blaney, you kind of have to race a little conservative because you can't take yourself out in stage 1 or 2. And then Truex has a good finish, points his way ahead of you. And then a guy like Chase Elliott wins, you're now out of the playoffs. So Ryan Blaney, I think, is in the toughest spot to be in right now. Either, you have a new winner and he's out, or he somehow just manages a good solid finish and there's no new winners and he points himself in. So really, really tough spot for Blaney. I think, honestly, Truex is in a much better position. Truex pretty much just knows he's got to run up front all day, like I said. So I would fade Blaney. So, I guess I'm talking bets right now. I guess we can roll right into it here. So I told you to fade Blaney. My best bet of the week is going to be Joey Logano to win this thing at plus 1,300. To me, like I said, this race has so much hype around it. With all the storylines that could possibly happen, 15 different winners. We could see a 16th, and that would be it. 16 winners are in the playoffs. So much around this race right now. I think a guy like Joey Logano, when there's a race that has a lot of hype, Bristol Dirt, the Clash, you look at Gateway earlier, the return to Gateway in Cup, you kind of always can expect Joey Logano to show up. And like Logano to me just equals chaos. When there's chaos and carnage, you somehow always Joey Logano finds his way out of that. Which is funny because most of the time he's usually the one starting all of it. But I just love this Logano bet. I think plus 1,300 is a great number to get a really good super speedway racer at. And like I said, I mean, there's just so much around this race. It would be so Logano to just ruin everybody's parade, trying to get a last ditch into the playoffs. So Joey Logano, best bet plus 1,300. We'll stick with the winners. Another bet that I absolutely love, plus 2,500 for one of the best super speedways racers of all time, Brad Keselowski. I think it's an absolute steal. Like I said, for one of the best plate racers we have. It's a must-win scenario for a very, very clutch driver. And if I'm the field, I watch out because this guy is so smart at these super speedway tracks. And look, he's more of a Talladega guy, but I don't think I think he only has 1 or 2 career wins. I think just one actually at Daytona. But you can't count him out. And when you're that good at super speedways like Brad is, you have to watch out for a guy like this. His only chance into the playoffs is to win. And Brad Keselowski is more than capable to go out here and win this thing. So great bet there, plus 2,500 for Brad to win. Eric Jones, another guy, plus 3,500. To me, he's just due. I don't think anybody deserves a win more this season than Eric Jones. And I think he can get it done. I really do. He's another steal. I feel like at plus 3,500, he nearly won at Talladega earlier this season. He's won the second Daytona race in his career, finished 4th at Atlanta this season. So he's had success in his career and this year at super speedways. And I just think he's one of those guys where he's so close, right? He's so close to getting a win this season. And I look at a Chastain, I look at a Tyler Reddick, guys like that we're so Daniel Suarez, that we're so close. I said this about Buescher last weekend. When you're so close, at some point you're going to get over the hump. And I think Eric Jones could possibly get over the hump this weekend. My 4th bet for winners, Bubba Wallace, plus 1,200. I don't love this bet, but I just feel like the momentum that the 23 team has had really leads up to this race. This is his best shot to win. I really haven't bet on Bubba much this season, but it seems like every time I have, he's delivered. So I'm going to cross my fingers and I'm just going to say, Bubba, help me out here. Plus 1,200. I don't really love that number. I wish we could have got closer to plus 15, plus 2. But I think plus 1,200 for Bubba, one of the better super speedways we have in the sport right now. Must-win scenario. I think it would be a great career-defining win for Bubba if he could stick this one to a lot of the people out there that say he doesn't have a career win with his rain-shortened race. Bubba plus 1,200. I think that's a pretty good bet. I'm going to go into top fives, just one. And I'm really betting on this guy because he's my favorite driver, believe it or not. Plus 400, Eric Almirola, top 5. He's got 2 career plate track wins. One of actually the more consistent super speedway racers in this series. He always seems to finish right around anywhere from 6th on to 11th. Not 5th on to 11th, 12th. So I feel like Almirola is a guy that in moments like this, he usually gets so close, but can't close the deal. And it's tough because he's one of my favorite drivers. But finished 5th at Daytona earlier this year. He's had some good runs as well this season on super speedways. I like this bet plus 400. And it's going to be one I'm rooting heavy for because I love to see Almirola do well. And I would love to see him win this thing too. I might throw a little something on him to win, but I'm just giving you guys the top 5. I think that's a pretty good bet, especially at plus 400. And then the top 10. So I wrote these down wrong, unfortunately, which is annoying, but I have the updated numbers here. So the first one is a Corey LaJoie top 10 at plus 400. And this is a steal of a bet to get Corey LaJoie plus 400 top 10. He led a ton of laps in Atlanta. Probably should have won that race, led laps at this same race last year, meaning this Daytona race. I think the odds makers have this totally wrong. Corey LaJoie probably should be closer to that plus 175, plus 200 mark. I think you get a steal of a bet at Corey LaJoie top 10 plus 400. Michael McDowell, plus 200. And I actually might even change this to a top 5, but I'm going to stick to a top 10. So Michael McDowell, top 10 plus 200. I should probably write that down now when I go about these bets again. My apologies. Another really good value bet. He's been so good this season at really anything besides a shorter track, 1 mile, half mile, 0.75 mile. He has not fared well at tracks like that. But anything big, road courses, super speedways, Pocono, this dude has continued to show up and get top tens. He's having a career year in top tens. I think he's like tied fourth or fifth for most top tens in the series. So, I mean, it just shows you how good this 34 team has really been. He's got 2 top tens at super speedways this year, including a 7th place at the Daytona 500. I really like this bet. I think there's great value here. And then another one that I think is a steal here is a Harrison Burton top 10 for plus 500. So he was top 10 at the last super speedway at Atlanta we just raced. And he has shown several times this year that like he can run up front. I mean, he led laps, I think, at the 500. He led laps at Atlanta. And he's really just got taken out in kind of unlucky situations, but he's ran up front with the best of them. So I really like this bet. Harrison Burton in the last like month and a half, he's had some solid runs. He finished top 5 at where was it? At Indy Road, and then a top 10 at Atlanta. So pretty good last like 2 months for him in terms of average finish. Not that great. I mean, his average finish throughout the year hasn't been that great. But I think there's a lot of value in that bet plus 500 for Harrison Burton for a top 10. So um, again, you want to bet small to win big. Those winners, I hope one of them can hit. Even if you just put a $10 bet on Eric Jones, you win 350. So huge value always at super speedways. I'm going to run through these again. Best bet of the week, Joey Logano to win plus 1,300, Keselowski to win plus 2,500, Jones to win plus 3,500, Bubba to win plus 1,200, top 5, Almirola plus 400, and then my top 10s, LaJoy at plus 400, McDowell at plus 200, and Harrison Burton at plus 500. Like I said, we're on 5 in a row. 6 in a row would be amazing. It's going to be tough, obviously, because there's a lot that's, a lot of different scenarios that can play out here for drivers outside looking in. But it should be a great race. As always, if you are looking for bets last minute, you know where to find me, Johnny on the Track on Action Network at JOTT_podcast on Twitter. And I lay out my card and the bets that I'm looking at. I will add one more thing. It does look to be, first of all, this is a Saturday night race, so track conditions will play a vital part. Now, on top of that, looks like there's going to be some rain in the forecast. So this could either get postponed to Sunday and we could run a standard typical race in the sun, hot conditions, or we could run this thing at night and it could be a rain shortened race. And I think in that case, that's going to help a guy that is on the outside looking in. Guys like Bubba, Jones, Keselowski, even McDowell and Burton to a lesser extent. A rain shortened race, I think, could actually help those sort of drivers a lot more than if this thing plays out. So again, we shall see, but looks to be 70 to 80% rain chance Saturday night at start of the race. And then 8 p.m. It really only goes down to 40%. So, definitely something we'll have to keep in mind. I feel like this was one of my longer videos. I'm not 100% sure. But look, plain and simple. Thank you guys for continuing to watch these things, and let's keep winning. It feels good to win. It feels good to see your bank account continue to increase. So yeah, should be a great one. Thanks for watching. Please like this video and subscribe for more content.